sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, just go to Reaver.1 and click on the SHR TV button. It's that simple. Hold on. We got a Crash calling in. Do-do-do-do.
It's appropriate to be talking about my ass.
I want to introduce Crash. Welcome to the show, you asshole.
Let me introduce me. The 4 people listening to this already know who I am.
Well, I have 5 people today, so.
You have 5?
Yes, I'm hitting the big times.
Crap, I got fucking nothing. I was really trying to. I got shit.
Don't you hate that when you do that? You're like, oh, I'm going to be a smart...
Yeah, I was really trying to. I'm like,
shit.
Damn!
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
On?
Nothing much. Yesterday's show really got derailed off of the whole subjects. So, hold on.
Okay. You got derailed and I wasn't even on the show?
No, I derailed myself a lot of times. But what I did is...
walking through a lot of walls, too, so...
Yeah. I didn't get to a lot of my Second Amendment articles that I wanted to. So I pushed them off till tonight. Which ended up there's more articles to be done.
Gosh. We can do a mini-series on this shit.
Well, true. And then, I'll save it for the end, I have a 15-minute Project Veritas expose. Yeah, the New York Times, they went undercover into and got one of their reporters.
Those guys are freaking funny as hell. You know what actually really floors me about that? I mean, not to completely cut you off, but you know what really floors me?
All right.
Is the fact that nobody heard about these guys. At least as far as I know. Really, they weren't really overly known until the whole Planned Parenthood thing. Now they're like a household name. Yet they still keep trapping people. People keep falling into the thing.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to try. That's the funniest part about it. It's like everybody knows these guys are out there exposing their BS. And they're not even, they don't even have to try for it. It's just people are offering it up.
Yeah, they now have
How stupid are you?
A hotline for you to email them with tips. And it's people are doing this for them and passing it along to them now.
Nice. Good.
So, people are getting tired of this bullshit. And the latest video, and they said if something's not done about this guy, because he's breaking a lot of rules, they said they have a couple more videos that they will drop. I was like, damn, blackmailing the bitches now.
Now, is this all on a reporter? Is that what this is on, or is this on an unknown?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I don't know what it is lately. Whenever I start the show, like the first 10 minutes, I got to yawn. I don't know what it is. And no, I'm not boring myself. I entertain myself very nicely.
I thank God we don't have video, because I don't think anybody wants to see that shit.
Well, it is live streamed, you jackass.
Oh, God.
So in the video, New York Times audience strategy editor. New York Times audience strategy editor.
Audience. So in other words, censor for certain populations and demographics and geographical regions.
No, it's an over title name. He puts up the video stuff on social media for New York Times. He's a trained monkey, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he gets caught in a bunch of things, a bunch of lies. So I'm going to play that later because that's 15 minutes long. All right, let me scroll down. Okay, Feinstein's in the news again. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I've only got maybe like 20, 30 tops, so.
All right. I know you can't say everything. How's everything going? Same, better, worse?
I'd be happy if it was the same, but honestly, it feels like it's evolving even further.
Okay.
I'll fill you in off there.
All right. Feinstein. She says that she represents 40 million Californians that do not want concealed carry. This is about the whole national reciprocation. Well, I don't want a lot of things that are caused by California, but I have to deal with it. A lot of this bullshit global warming crap comes from these idiots in California, but the nation has to put up with that jackassery because of those few people.
Here's the thing, though. Honestly, here's just my simple question. Okay, so she's got how many people, you said?
40 million.
Okay, so she's got 40 million
and there's what?
Constituents.
350 voting members in the United States.
Uh-huh. So I got two questions. Okay, number one, so they don't want this, right? They don't want concealed carry. Okay. Well, hey, guess what?
They don't have to.
That is your constitutional right to not have concealed carry. I mean, that is your right. You do not have to conceal carry a gun. You do not have to purchase a gun. You do not have to have anything to do with one. Stay the F away from my goddamn rights.
Yep.
Number two, green card, please. Sorry, I had to.
What was that last one? Blame card?
Green card, please.
Oh, green card. Oh. Have you got your green card yet?
I'm sorry. She's going to say that 40 million of her people don't want this. I'm sorry. That number seems a little bit large.
It does. But you made the point that I was going to make of you don't get one.
Yeah, it's that simple.
They don't.
Okay,
just because they don't want one.
You want to be environmentally friendly. You don't want to drive a gas guzzler. I'm not forcing you to buy a diesel. I'm not forcing you to buy a Humvee or a big-ass SUV. Go ahead and buy your fucking Prius. I don't care. What difference does it make to me? I'm out of your business. Stay the hell out of mine.
Yeah.
It's that freaking simple.
So if they didn't like national reciprocation on driver's license, does that mean we all would have to get 50 driver's license? California does not make the rules.
What I would absolutely love is for somebody to turn around and tell all those Californians, hey, guess what? None of the other states accept your driver's license, so cross the state line, your dumb ass gets arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
I would freaking love it. Please, stop the spread of the damn disease.
Oh. The problem is they've been escaping California because the jobs are few and far between anymore. So
it's because they keep importing more voters.
Oh, it's not
just
that. It's not just that. The regulations in California and taxes are getting so ridiculous. The cost of living there is, oh my God. Making $60,000 a year and you're still fucking poor.
Here's the screwed up thing. I just saw a tax report as far as how much you pay in taxes opposed to how much you get returned on the dollar. New Jersey beats out California. New Jersey was in the top.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I can't remember if we were number one or if, I know we were in the top three, but it was us, New York, and oh god, what was the other one? It wasn't California. It was it Massachusetts? I don't remember what the other one was, but there was another one, and it wasn't California. It actually kind of caught me off guard. Like, I was not surprised to see New Jersey high on the list. I was a little surprised to see how high we were. Shouldn't have been, but I was. New York, that didn't surprise me one goddamn bit. But California wasn't even as high as us. I'm like, what the hell?
But this is also a woman who says that she does not believe concealed carry is protected by the Constitution. Okay. Well, hold on.
Has a concealed carry license. Said that.
I know that. I know. The woman that has one. She's allowed to have one. But here's the thing. Okay. So you want to go to what they did back in that time. So that means we can open carry now.
I was going to say, that was called open carry because, the musket.
You didn't really conceal carry back then. Oh, and you know how they talk about how they only talked about muskets back then? Well, Thomas Jefferson had made a machine gun, actually, the Gatling gun.
There were multiple patents. There was actually even, I can't remember at what point, I can't remember which firearm it was, but it was a repeat fire, essentially a repeat fire musket. I can't remember what the hell the name of it was, but it was the machine gun of the time, and the government ordered it.
But that's they always talk about. Well, you can only have it. So you can have a musket. You can only have a musket because that's all they had back then. Well, also the musket was what?
Military.
Thank you. You God damn it, you're good. You're good. You went right where I wanted you to go. It's the goddamn military weapon. And that's what the Second Amendment is about, that we were as armed as the military.
Now, I'm going to make one distinction right here.
Where's my tag?
Just a real quick distinction, because I know that this debate, every time this debate comes up, the next jump that a liberal would take is, that means you should all have bazookas and nuclear weapons and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Can I?
No, asshole, that's not what it freaking means. Okay? Look
I
at
want
the
a
military of the
bazooka.
time. Okay. Well, now, okay. Actually, real quick, and then I'll go into what I was going to say.
Hold on. I do have a bazooka. I have bazooka.
Oh, God.
It's in my kitchen right now. It's a bazooka gum.
Yeah, I was going to say. All right. Anyway, there was a merchant ship that actually wrote a letter to the government requesting the authority or permission. Well, I can't remember how it was phrased, but they requested to be allowed to outfit their ship with a couple of cannons, or at least one cannon, to defend against piracy. You know what they were responded with?
What?
Why the hell are you even asking? Of course you can have a damn cannon. It's to defend your ship. It was like common freaking sense. Now, if you want to, people nowadays, they want to jump to this whole debate of, that means, everybody should have no, asshole, that's not what it fucking means. Let's take a look at the way the military was back then, okay? The common soldier.
Brought his own weapon.
The infantry. One, yes, they provided their own. They actually, initially, they had to provide their own firearms
Clothing.
And their own ammunition, initially, okay? So they had a rifle, a musket, okay? They may have had a pistol, which was still single shot capacity. They might have had several of those. They had a knife. They had whatever was needed. Now, the militaries did develop, semi-automatic and automatic fire. They were, in theory, they were drawn up. There were some that were put to use, very, very limited. They had cannons. They had ships. Okay, so they had all this stuff, right? So now, here's the funny thing, is in the Declaration, when this was written, when the Second Amendment was written, it says the right to keep and bear arms, correct?
Yes.
And it's been agreed upon that the intent behind that was written to include the weaponry of a baseline soldier, what's considered a basic loadout. Just the same as a goddamn cannon was not a basic loadout for somebody to have to drag, neither is a goddamn nuclear warhead for every single fucking private in the goddamn U.S. Army. So get off that goddamn debate.
Also, we can go to the points. The RPG, bazooka, and nuclear weapon, those are explosives. They go underneath a different set of laws than firearms. So,
very true. Very true. You know what? I didn't even think of that angle.
And to be honest, I was thinking as you were talking, it goes underneath a different set of laws. There's different laws with explosives. And that's basically what a bazooka is a form of explosive.
Yes,
and same with a nuclear weapon. I mean, you would have to buy, to make your own.
It is initiated by an explosive reaction. Yes.
Same with the tank. That technically would be an explosive. I know people think it's more or less like a gun, but no, it's more or less like an explosive. The shells usually go boom.
It fires an explosive. I mean, it can fire. You can put essentially dummy shells in them, but they fire exploding rounds. That's the point behind it.
My father-in-law always gives me that one. Well, do you think you should have a tank? I looked at it, I was like, yeah. Oh, that pissed him off. That pissed him off. If you want to go ridiculous, I'll go ridiculous.
But see, that's the thing, and that's just it, is they go from one goddamn extreme to the other.
But
now,
when you bring up about cars being used for mass murder, that's being ridiculous. When you're comparing that there's mass murders committed with cars, between terrorists using them to run people over, drunk drivers, pissed off people, more people are killed by cars than goddamn guns.
Well, let's see. The European Union, right? They essentially did a complete ban on firearms. So let's see. Other than explosives and the couple of shootings, we'll remove those two. What has been the main sources of attack that they have used in Europe since all this shit started? Yeah, that's right. They drove vehicles, and they used stabbing weapons. They used knives.
But hold on. Because you actually segued it into another article without even actually knowing it. A major London hospital has seen the number of gunshot injuries rise faster than knife wounds, and the average age of victims get younger as the city battles a surge in violent crime. This is out of London. Their gun crime problem is surging upwards. I want to bang my head because everybody saw this coming that had more than one brain cell. And even one brain cell could see how they knew this was coming. Because
the thing is, everything boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Honestly, not to quote somebody, but
you're going to quote somebody.
Gowdy. Okay, Trey Gowdy. All right. I absolutely loved one of the debates that he had. I can't remember who it was with, but it had to do with the Second Amendment. And it was with, I think it was over the no-fly, no-buy list. And I absolutely loved how he lambasted this piece of crap, because what he pointed out was, there's not one other of our rights, of our basic rights in the Bill of Rights, that requires so much background checks and so much permission from the government to be able to exercise as the Second Amendment. It's not even like we just need basic permission. I mean, you guys are like pushing it way over and above. Would you accept, having to get permission from the government to exercise free speech?
Yeah. How would you have to get a license?
How about getting permission from the government, to be able to not be subject to illegal search and seizure? To be able to get an attorney, to be able to not be subjected to torture. How about the government has to give you written permission?
Uh-oh. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, you got a little fuzzy there. I got one for you. How would the liberals feel if the conservatives said you have to get a license to vote? You have to pass a background check. You have to pass a test to show intelligence.
Forget the background check. Forget a license to vote.
Just an ID is racist.
Show a goddamn ID, and the Democrats went nuts.
Yeah.
They went absolutely ape shit over just proof. You are who you say you are, and you live in this district. Literally, just prove that you should even be here. I mean, Christ, I have to do that in New Jersey. No, do I have to show ID? No. I'm leaving.
Yeah, we're starting to lose them. I want to make a point, if you can still hear me, and you can call back. You still there? Nope. Lost him. Yeah. And I've brought this up before. The push on mental health issues. And hey, what's up, Dave? The push on mental health issues, what it's going to do is it's going to stop people from going to the doctors. It's going to stop them from saying, oh, no, he was actually calling on his cell phone in the area that he's getting into. The signal starts to get a little weak. It's out in actually the country area of New Jersey, and the cell phone service gets a little weak. Speaking of, hey, you're back. I'm going to make one comment. We got to go to break. I was talking about how the mental health issue, that they keep pushing mental health. What they're going to do is push people that could use to go to the doctors, but won't go to the doctors, won't get treatment because of fear of being reported to the government and getting put on some list. That will stop so many people that actually have illnesses that need to get. And you don't know this guy, so. And I talked about it the other day. You don't know him, but he might have an alcohol problem. He won't even think about treatment just because he's afraid of what would come back on him if he wanted to buy a gun later on. Because the government would step in and said, no, you had an alcohol problem. That could keep you from getting a gun. And that is going to stop so many people from getting treatment for so many different from actual mental illnesses. And now we're going to have people that are untreated running around on the streets.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, you're absolutely right. If you're dependent upon alcohol. No, you cannot have a gun. It's considered a mental illness. All right. Now, how about as soon as they did the push with the military, if you have PTSD, you cannot have a firearm. Remember when Obama did that whole push? Well, how many firefighters, paramedics, and cops will not get treatment for PTSD or go to a critical incident stress debriefing?
I told this the other day. My lawyer told me during my disability, I'm an EMT. He goes, I can prove without a shadow of doubt that you have PTSD because of your long career. He goes, and I can get you approved for it. All you have to do is say that. And I said, no, I refuse to.
And then you relinquish all your rights.
Because and once I said that, he goes, you know what, you got a point there. He goes, I wouldn't fear now. He goes, but back then when Obama was, he goes, I understand.
The problem is it's still a fear because Obama had such a hard push for it.
Okay,
we knew that was going to continue through.
Okay, I don't have to worry about it these 4 years.
Exactly.
What happens when the next Democrat gets in?
The fact that Trump won completely shocked everybody. They were fully planning that Hillary was going to continue Obama's legacy, which would have included all of these draconian restrictions. They were going to get pushed harder, farther, and they were going to make more progress on their whole massive agenda that they've been slowly boiling us to death with all these years. So the fact that Trump won, that brought us a reprieve. The thing is, you get on a list now, you'll be on that list, especially considering the fact that you have no recourse to get off of it.
That bullshit, no fly,
no buy. No buy. Yep.
My brother's on the list. My oldest brother's on that list.
Yeah, and why?
Because his
name... They don't have to give a reason.
No, they gave it to him. His name is John Anderson. That's such a common name. That's the number one name terrorists use on false IDs.
And that's his fault, so he has to suffer because of that.
Yep.
Okay, well, Jose is one of the most common names used, too. Does that mean every single Jose should not be allowed on an airplane, should not be allowed to do anything? Oh, no, wait, they vote Democrat, so
exactly.
they're allowed.
But with the whole thing also, and I got to make this last point, then I definitely have to go to break because we are majorly late. With the push on mental health, I saw this coming. Pushing mental health. And what were they saying in the background? Anybody that wants to own a gun is mentally unhealthy.
Yep.
So you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and LoneStarNews.com, and we will be right back.
Hello?
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. We're here talking with Crash. We're talking Second Amendment tonight. It's fucked up, the shit that they're trying to push. And I know most people know the game that they're pushing, like I said, with the mentally ill. They're pulling that game. Brain fart. They're pulling that game so that later on they can go, well, if you want to own a gun, that's a mental illness, so we get to ban you from owning a gun. And you want to know how I got that idea? Several anti-gunners sat there and said that to me. How's it? Yep.
It's not overly surprising. I mean, anytime gun owners have given, or I'm not given up a right, but every time that we have said, okay, look, we can understand why this type of weapon is a problem, or this cosmetic feature bothers you. We'll agree to not, say anything about you wanting to ban this. But then they take 25 others.
Yeah, you give them an inch, they take a couple miles.
Feinstein even flat out said, she even admitted on the news that, the bump stocks, having those banned is a very slippery slope. And she's hoping that we fall down it.
Yeah.
She even said that. That's her hope.
Chris Murphy,
her hope is
Senator Murphy said that's just the beginning.
That's it. Yeah.
It's the beginning.
Her end game is nobody other than her because, she has a true need for it.
Right. Oh, yeah, the politicians have a right to concealed carry. And don't forget, they're allowed to have security. The elite stars are allowed to have security around it, but nobody else is allowed to be protected. They're allowed to live in these gated communities with these fences and walls around their house, but nobody else can be protected.
Yeah, and the screwed thing is when they turn around and say, they're like, well, we paid for that house. We paid for that residence. Oh, no, really, you didn't? It was our tax dollars that did. Okay, it was your overinflated salary that you give yourself that we get no say over that did. Okay, if you guys actually had to do with term limits and you only got that, $150,000 a year for 4 years or 8 years or whatever it was, you wouldn't be living in those types of homes. You'd be living like the rest of us, which quite honestly, if you're going to represent me, you should at least be semi-comparable to how I'm living. I'm not saying exactly. Obviously, you've been more successful, you've done more, okay, fine, just same as anything else. But just keep in mind, you want to keep going down the socialism road? That means I get a share of everything you get, too.
Yeah.
Just saying, you want to take what I've got and give it to the person who's not doing shit?
You're going to wind up giving more to me than I'm giving up.
Yeah. Exactly. All right? Exactly. I'll start with that little pea shooter that you call a backup piece.
Well, you know what? It makes me laugh because they always sit there, only the rich Republican are against it. I am a poor motherfucker. I am a broke motherfucker. And you know what? I don't want socialism. I don't want somebody else's money.
Brother, you are both broke and broken.
Yeah.
Well, then again, we both are.
But I'm not broke back.
No. Actually, shit, that reminds me. I got back surgery next week.
Oh, that's what you had, back surgery? I was trying to figure out what you were having.
Yeah, no, I got to have back surgery next week.
They're finally giving you a spine?
A what?
They're finally giving you a spine?
You motherfucker.
You walked into that.
Fucker. Oh, God damn it. What? Oh, that was good.
You walked right into that one.
Yeah, no shit. That was good, brother.
But then again, you're used to walking into things.
Oh, shut up, asshole. All right, well, I got to get off the line. Have fun with the rest of your show, man.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Everybody, that was Crash, a good buddy of mine. We used to, besides we ran EMS for so many goddamn years together, we did a show on Wednesday nights, Southside Mutts. Damn, that was. I didn't know he was having back surgery until he just told me. Oh, he walked right into that. Oh, but as I was saying, the London surgeon reveals the extent of the city's surging gun crime problem. Martin Griffith said medics at the Royal London Hospital expected to treat between 50 to 60 gunshot victims of gun crimes in 2017, reporting that the Whitechapel Hospital has seen year by year a 20 to 30% rise in the past 2 to 3 years. Pretty well. First the balls go, then the spine goes. Dave down Pleasant Plain, he said, "Joe, dude, I thought being married instantly included instant spine removal." Oh, man. The change comes despite private ownership of guns being practically illegal for most city dwellers in the United Kingdom, with only hunting rifle and shotguns available to a small minority and predominantly in rural areas. What's funny is, a small minority. So only if you live out in the farm can you have one. And only if you are protecting the king and queen and the elite. It's going back to the way it used to be. I mean, the elites are becoming the elites again. Now, what happens every time in history? What happens in history when the elite becomes too powerful and starts disrespecting and walking all over the underclass? The underclass rise up and smack them all around and put them back in their place. What the hell? Oh, I'm waiting for NHL to get a little shit over. They have a headline: the first shooter to make Australian headlines since widespread gun legislation reform 21 years ago. And they're not talking about any of that. They're talking about this young kid. He's, plays for the Washington Capitals, and he is a crack shot and lighting up the lamp. Looks like, and that is going to piss some people off. Ooh. And with that, let's see, a small minority and just I wouldn't doubt that that you have to give full colonoscopies just to get a shotgun because you live out in the country. Yeah, most of your countries that are banning guns, they're having a rise in crime. It didn't really stifle the crime that they were having anyway, or the violence. At first it dropped down because your criminals are going to be taking it back a little bit. They know everybody's going to be looking for the gun, so they take a back seat for a little bit. And now that everything's calming down, the criminals will be out and about. So great, we get like a 1 or 2 years of reprieve, and then it would be slaughterhouse. With that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and LoneStarNews.com. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires, due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network, to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Cap for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, live rebooting liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Yeah, I have that packet, and hey, Dan, how are you doing tonight, sir? On a different subject also. I was going to bring up how CNN has questioned why haven't Michelle or Barack Hussein Obama spoken out about Harvey Weinstein. And lo and behold, after CNN calls them out, which shocked the shit out of me that CNN would actually call out Obama. The Obamas say that they're disgusted by Harvey Weinstein's accusations or allegations. Hillary, I think, put out, a 38-word, 3-sentence. Well, of course, she knows not to speak out against it. She really can't, because how is she going to defend speaking out when she defends her husband? Yeah, Dan, you had that officer that was shot and killed, didn't you? Did you go out there for that, or? Texas lost one of the colleges. I think it's one of the colleges. And pretty nasty. I think they were called for a wellness check on a student, and when the officer opened fired. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. I didn't read up a lot on it. When the guy opened the door, he opened fired on the police officer and killed him immediately. It's happening way too often, and this is in direct proportion to the Obama administration and the liberal agenda. They have made it perfectly fine for people to murder these officers. You know, when they go out and justify Michael Brown, the Baltimore incident, the New York incident with the loose cigarettes. What really bothers me with that incident that was in New York, where I can't breathe bullshit. The liberals make these stupid rules that made it highly illegal to sell single cigarettes on the street. Yeah, CNN, MSNBC, all of them, Fox, all of these places were complicit in Harvey Weinstein's sexual predator actions. They were all complicit in it. They all allowed it. They all remained silent. And it's not, even Fox News never brought any of that shit out. They all knew what was going on. You had Russell Crowe, Matt Damon, that were helping silence some of the women. Hell, Lisa Bloom, one of those big-time attorneys that usually is on the woman's side, was going to go after the females to shut them up. But back to what I was saying, the ones with the loosies. It's the fucking liberals that push those laws into effect. And then they bitch at the cops for enforcing those laws. The guy was fighting back. And you have the Obama administration, the liberals, immediately having the cops guilty. Oh, that was really out of what I heard then. That might have been a different incident than I heard. They arrested the student in his dorm for drugs, transported the student to campus police station. The student was not handcuffed, pulled a gun at the station, and shot the officer. Cop trying to be nice to the kid and not handcuff him because not thinking he's dangerous. You know, he's just a young kid, you know, something stupid. Just selling drugs, it's a victimist crime. Isn't that what the liberals always say? And now we have a cop that's dead. Because some snot-nosed, drug-dealing brat broke the law. And I'll bet you they'll talk how that kid's all innocent. It's not his fault. I mean, we have our justice system out there. The kid that killed all those kids in the drunk driving accident, he got off because his parents are rich. He didn't know better. You know, we have too many of those influenza or whatever. Not influenza. Damn it. I can't think of what they called it. Where kind of like you're so rich you don't know better not to do something. And you know what? The liberals complain about these laws that are in effect. Who's the one that pushes most of these laws that punishes people? Liberals are the ones that want to keep putting laws upon laws upon laws upon laws and put all these people in jail. And then they're the first ones, we need criminal reform. Oh, we're putting people in jail. Oh, it's not right. They're the ones that created the system. Now they're crying about it, and most people don't have the balls to stand up and go, bitch, you made it. Now you're complaining about it, and you're trying to point your fingers at the cops? I don't know. Exactly, Dave, and that's my dad that pisses me off. Now, both me and my dad quit smoking several years ago. I mean, different times. If someone's smoking and I don't want to deal with it, I move. I don't force it on them. Now, if a person's being a douche, then that's different. But for the most part, I can't take the smoke, so it's my problem. But as Dave said in the chat room, the left are attacking it worse than weed. In fact, they're promoting weed. Oh, it's not bad. It's healthy. It's good for you. Oh, we got to attack cigarettes. You got to stop smoking. My dad is pissed off about that. How can you attack smoking and then promote smoking weed? And don't tell me it's different. It's the exact same thing. You're burning a plant and inhaling it. That's it. They're both, and they're finding out there's a lot of issues with pot that we don't understand or really looked at before because it was illegal, and they're finding out it does cause a lot of health problems. And don't ever tell me that it's not a gateway drug, because that's a bunch of bullshit. In my youth, I've done a lot of stupid shit. I've smoked pot a few times. I am not afraid to admit it. I've tried cocaine. I've tried speed. Those are the only 3 drugs I've ever tried. But, I didn't try those other substances, jump straight to them, and skip over pot. Smoking pot a couple times. Here, try this. I never heard someone going, well, you know, I started out doing cocaine, and then I tried pot a couple years later. No, I was smoking pot, I was around some people, and next thing I know, I'm doing cocaine. You know, you know what's worse? They're like, it has medicinal purposes. So does cocaine. So does speed. Speed's still used. Cocaine's still used medically. I don't understand these people. I really don't anymore. I make no excuses. I tried it. I'll tell you what, when I was... Basically, cocaine would be, you know, I'd be out drinking, do a line or two, sober the hell up real quick. All right, I'm good. I met my wife. She told me I had a choice. Her or playing around with the drugs. Oh, okay. You. I pick you. And, you know, it's... You know, speed I did like 2 times. I hated that. I didn't like speed. And you know what? I don't hide this from my daughter. But she knows this is not an excuse for her to do. And I told her, and her mother has told her, this is how Dad knows what you're up to, because he's done more shit than probably you'll ever think of. And not drug-wise, just in life. So I know what certain things I'm looking for, and I'm very observant when it comes to certain things. And so it's... I told her, come talk to me when you have those curiosity. Come talk to me. When you have where you want to try alcohol, come talk to me. I'll go get some beer. We'll sit down and we'll drink. But you're going to stay at this house. And I'm going to do the same thing my brother did. Get her so fucking sloshed she's going to be hungover the next day. She has no... I mean, I've had some rum. Had some wine and beer in the house. And I had her try a little wine. She, don't really like that. Beer, don't really like that. Gave her... Was it vodka or rum? Oh, my God. And I'm talking just like a couple of droppers. Holy No, that's what it was. What is that fire stuff? It's the cinnamon. The whiskey, cinnamon whiskey fireball. I gave her a little taste. And I'm talking a little taste. It wouldn't have got a baby drunk. That's how small. She hit that, and she hit the sink and started guzzling water. I said, you ever going to drink hard liquor again? And she's like, hell no. That stuff tastes like shit. So hiding it from your kids makes it, gives it this aura of mystery around it. When I was a kid, you know, my dad would be like, here, have a sip of beer. Go ahead. So I never had this big thing about alcohol. I mean, I was a heavy drinker in my younger age. Whew, was I a heavy drinker. And that was a whole different thing. You know what, Dave? I don't understand one thing. And I somewhat agree, people don't drink for the taste. I was in Cancun, and they were having a special. It was like some anniversary or something. So they were doing, Fireball. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you very much. It was something with tequila special. So they brought out, there was like 5 different tequilas they had. And they're like, all right, this is like the $1. This one's like a $10. This one's $100. And this one's $1,000 a shot. And I was like, all right. I ain't spending no $1,000 to rent alcohol. Because you never buy alcohol. You never buy it. You rent it. You rent alcohol. That's all you do. You buy, you go, you get it, you drink it, and you're pissing it down the drain short time after. Everybody's body different, so I'm not going to give a time frame. It's... But it's... And really, with alcohol, how does most people start? They start by drinking beer. Not too many people go straight for the hard stuff. Now, the ones I haven't drinking since the first time I ever had it, and what was it? Red Deaths? I think it's Red Deaths. And it went down like Hawaiian Punch. And I started pounding them and pounding them and pounding them. I was ordering pictures of them. Yeah. The last thing I remember that night that I came in contact with Red Deaths was looking at the lead singer of the band. We were doing a bus trip. Bought him one. Sat down. Clinked glasses. Chugged mine. And that's the very last thing I remember. I don't remember falling down a 10-foot cliff either. I don't remember the bus ride back and being passed out on my head on my girlfriend's lap. I don't remember I remember she had a mini skirt and she had the, the only way I know them as the fuck me boots. And they weren't the tight ones, they're a little bit loose. And I don't remember, this is the first I met her brother who just came back from the Army. So he carried me up the cliff. They had me on her lap, and I started throwing up. She couldn't get me off her lap. I'm throwing up into her boots. Her brother's leaning over, laughing his ass off at us. And instead of pulling me away, he starts running to get people to show them. Oh, yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't drink really that much. I did too many blackouts. Too many nights where I went, what the fuck just happened? Whew. I never claimed to be a saint, and I never will. I've done my share of stupidity. I'll never claim to be a saint. But when I die, I will have no regrets in my life. Well, one regret, that I ain't going in the military. But I'd probably have gotten kicked out because back when I was that age, 18, I was a hellion. So it might have been better. I'd have wound up in the brig or something. But I don't regret anything I've done in my life. I've done a lot of fucked up things, a lot of wrong things, but I've learned from every mistake, and I try to become a better man. No, I'm not proud of some of the shit I did. It's just, like you said, I won't hide it either, and I don't hide it from my daughter. Never will. But the shit of people, trying to push pot, that it's nothing wrong with it, and it's the next miracle cure. Bullshit. Bullshit. It is not the miracle cure they say it is. At least not in my body. And what's funny is I got into a discussion, and they were like, oh, it'll cure this, and it'll cure this. And I was like, yeah, I recently, because my back's pretty fucked up, and I'm in pain. Time I wake up to the time I go to bed and the time I'm sleeping. So I tried, again, pot, to see if it would work. I tried it. And it didn't do shit for my pain. And I brought that up in that discussion. I got told, speak for yourself, and you ought to keep that to yourself. Why? You're putting out here that'll cure your lumbago. But I can't say that it's not doing shit for my back pain. Hey. It's good for cancer. It's good for skin conditions. It's good if you got upset stomach. It's good if you're have anxiety. No, it sounds like you're a pothead and you're addicted to it. And if you don't get it, you kind of lose control. I don't know. It may help. And here's the thing. In Florida, we have it for marijuana. Yes, does it have medicinal purposes? Yes, it does. So in Florida, there is two versions. You can get the pill or you can get the oil. There's no need to fucking smoke it and have a joint. Yeah, man, this is my med. Yeah, here you go. Pass it on, dude. It's municipal. Bullshit. If it's going to work for you, they're taking the THC and the parts that are good for you and turning it into a pill or an oil. Smoking it is not going to help you. This is not 1700s going to the local tribe. Here, smoke 'em peace pipe. Do you good. No, that's not what we're talking about, people. So I have no problem with the pill or the... Even if fine that they needed to smoke it. The problem is the doctors are abusing it, writing it for the most bullshit stuff. Because here in Florida, it's already only supposed to be for severe issues, cancer, stage 4, pain meds aren't exactly helping, the nausea from... All right, so we'll let you... they'll let you go on it. But then next thing you know is, well, I'm in college and I'm having anxiety. I got a test tomorrow. So my doctor gave me a prescription for a bag of weed. And I smoked that and I'm just fine for my test. I don't have any more anxiety. No, that's just a kid that doesn't know how to deal with stress of life. And you know what? That's the one that's going to go on a goddamn shooting spree. Because he doesn't know how to deal with life. We've been protecting our kids so much over the years. Just protecting them and protecting them and protecting them. They don't know how to fucking deal with life. Life sucks. It's stressful. I mean, think about this. 17-year-olds are out there with pussy hats on and safety pins and crying because their candidate lost an election. And in the 1940s, when you were 17, 18 years old, you were rushing the beach on D-Day. And they came back and they didn't sit there and, have all the mental issues. And war was worse than it is today. And I'm not trying to knock our veterans that come back that are, have issues. But I'm saying that is a statement on our society and the way we are raising our kids. We're teaching our boys not to be boys. They have to be feminists. They have to be in touch. Well, that's not how men are supposed to be. Not all men. Like I said, Jenna, it helps some, but that it cures every problem out there. And the pill will do it the same as smoking it. So, and then that's the thing. And there's a left-wing liberal here in Florida, and he was going off the rails about, just totally losing his shit because the Republicans said they only want to approve the marijuana for pill and oil. God, Jimmy, why can't I smoke it? You don't even have a health problem, asshole. You just want to get fucking high. And one of the reasons I have a problem, and this is something me and Dean, a buddy of mine, Dean, were going back and forth on. And he's a little bit pro. He was. And he's like, well, you can go drink if you want. Why can't I smoke if I wanted to? I said, yeah, but if we go to a bar and I drink, does that get you drunk? He's like, no, it don't work that way. I said, if you go and smoke, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm near you, he goes, shit, you can get a contact high. I said, yes, and not knowing because I've never done marijuana before, and at a bar, I may not be able to smell because of all the other smells that are going on in a bar. I go out and drive my car, and I start feeling the effects. I crash and I kill 2 people. Now I'm responsible because someone else smoked and got me high without me knowing, and now I've killed 2 people and going to jail. And he turned around and he said, you know what, that's an honest-to-God circumstances. And he goes, that's actually changed my perspective a little bit. And I had another friend, well, it doesn't get you don't get contact highs. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Jimmy Carter became president. Yeah. I'm surprised this country made it through Carter's. I mean, Iran takes hostages. Friggin' Ronald Reagan gets elected, and they give up the hostages real quick because they knew Ronald Reagan wasn't going to play any games. I remember that. I remember, tying the yellow ribbons around the old oak trees, running around. Oh, it's been this many days. I remember that. I was born in 71. December of 71. Some of my first memories are the last of the troops have come home from Vietnam. And what was the other? The Flyers winning the Stanley Cup. Those are some of my first memories as a kid. Flyers won the 74, 75, 75, 76, I think it was. Or was it 73, 74, 74, 75? But they went back-to-back. No, 74, 75, 75, 76. Don't ask me why. Just some of those things pop out at me. I just remember sitting on the floor. I don't remember a lot of other things. I pissed my parents off because we moved out of the house in Levittown when I was about 5, I think it was. And I remember the fish tank. We had like a 50-gallon fish tank. We had kissing fish, suckerfish, angel, and there was another one. I can't remember right now. And I said that to my parents. My dad's like, we did not have a tank. My mom looked and goes, we didn't have a tank on. I was like, I remember when we were in Hillsborough because I used to play on the stand of the tank. And they were just looking at me. I was like, we had this and this and this. And they were like, son of a bitch. And real quick, because the comment was just made, and I'm not going to repeat it because it's, well, I don't remember exactly what was said, and I'm a little bit lazy going to look it up. And one of my neighbors said that also that you don't get contact highs. I've gotten contact highs at a concert. I've gotten contact highs around my friends. There's still residue when you exhale. You don't absorb 100% of that THC that's in that smoke. And when you exhale, there's still THC and all the other stuff that's in it. It's like I said. I remember that because of the Iran issue, is because of the yellow ribbons. I just remember at first, like, what the heck? Why are people tying the ribbons? And my parents were very patriotic. Well, they still are very patriotic. And it was because they explained to me Iran took American hostages. Oh, okay. I knew. Oh, I see what you meant. Okay, Jenna, I think I misread that. Sorry. It's. I think that sunk the Democrats real bad for that election. The Iran issue. Yeah, there was only ABC, CBS, and NBC, and if you're lucky, you got PBS. I think PBS was around back then, but that was here or there. It's. Oh, nice. Sorry, looked over, and one of the guys on the Flyers, 19 years old, rookie, just got drafted this year. You know, he made it first year and just scored his first goal. Sweet. See what I do for you guys because I love you guys so much. I'm missing my Flyers game. I am missing my Flyers game. Oh, shit. All right, I'm turning it off. I had it on my tablet. Yeah, if you were lucky, you got PBS. That's what. And I just remember, and I remember the first remote control. Me. I was the youngest. Go change the channel. Okay. I also remember when we first got cable. Not Verizon. It was one of the premier. It was the first ones of Comcast. It was Visionary or something like that. Now I'm gonna have to look it up because I remember there was Prism was the channel, and it used to have all the Flyers game. Let me see. Comcast. That sucks. Well, not sucks. I blew through my first or the top of the hour commercial. So I'm not even going to do that. We'll just keep on going until the next commercial. Then I'm going to play the Veritas video for everybody. Give you about 15 minutes of no Reaver talking. I also remember we had that little converter because you had to run the cable to this little box that was on the back of your TV, and it had the two prongs where the antenna would go in. You had to screw it in there, and it was just like this very limited box. Just had an up and down button. You click that to change the channel. I remember for a long time. Oh, shit, we don't have... Mom, can you run to the store? We need... I mean, our TV down in the basement was, I think, an 18-inch. Hell, I think it's smaller than any of my computer monitors that I have in my computer room. Well, except for, well, maybe the laptop and the tablet. But you had the two dials for the different channels. You had to turn this one to a neutral and then go to the bottom. Oh, it's... leadership. There was something else before Comcast. No, I'm trying to look at... Oh, I remember when HBO first came around. Yeah, exactly. That little TV adapter. It just... Shit, my first cell phone in the 90s was a Comcast. It was through Comcast. I mean, I remember we would go down to Delaware, and this was 92, 93. Shit. We would have to call on our cell phones and tell them that we're changing districts. We'll be in Delaware. And we had to know what district so that we can get phone calls on our cell phones. It was still those little not bricks, but had just that little flip down. God, I'm getting old. Showed my daughter a video of a commercial for some of the first cell phones. You know, had that big briefcase you had to carry with you and had the cord up, and it looked like a receiver. You know, I'm pretty sure, well, anybody that's probably 30 and older. I mean, it was a big item. It was, about a foot and a half wide. I was showing my daughter, and she's like, what? I was like, yeah. I showed her an ad from Radio Shack. They had it on sale. It was like $300 off on sale at $7.99. My daughter's just looking. I was like, what is that? I'm like, it's the first cell phone, son. I was like, there was no text messaging, no internet. What? And she gave that look like, how did you survive? I'm like, oh, my God. I was like, all right, hon. I'm showing her, like, pictures of... Hell, when I first started dating my wife... Back in 1997, my in-laws still didn't even have a cordless phone in their house. It's like, oh my God, there's no cordless phone in here? Oh, all their phones had cords on them. My daughter's like, what's that, Dad? Oh my God, I'm getting old. Back in my day, we had to walk uphill to school in snow. Both ways. God, you know you're getting old when you start saying back in my day. And even EMS, that was always the joke. When you turn around and say back in my day of EMS, you've been an EMT for a while. Well, back in my day, we were allowed to... Oh, shit, I'm old. Oh. All right, I am going to head to break. And when we come back, we're going to go to Project Veritas' newest video. All right, I'm going to play the new SHR promo packet. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and LoneStarNews.com.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Power brokers use corrupt politicians, deceptive Islam, and lies from establishment media to turn the once shining city on a hill into the city of the blind. What do the elites fear? One man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me at SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Spreaker, iTunes, and YouTube for a different kind of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to SHRmedia.com. Oh, welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm sorry, I forgot how short that one. I'm used to my regular one, and I'm used to certain commercials popping up, or promos, I should say, and it just triggers me to start listening, and that one isn't one of them. Sorry about that. Holy shit. All right. I said I was going to play the Project Veritas, and I am. Holy shit, I'm running behind on this. Project Veritas, they now have a TV show on OANN. It's the One America News Network. Unfortunately, Comcast doesn't have it. Pisses me off. I actually like that channel. So Project Veritas is getting a show on there. And this is their new one where they expose the bias of New York Times, which is supposed to be like the gold standard of newspapers where everything is neutral. In fact, their policies pretty much say this guy should be fired. But so far, we haven't heard anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forget which button it is all the time. This is Project Veritas Undercover. And
like, my voice is on my imprint's on every video we do.
And you're going to be helping with the times, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
I will be objective.
Yeah.
So I'm there. The one thing that Jim Comey said, and I've met him, he's a great guy, actually.
How'd you meet Comey? Just like working in the campaign?
No. Godfather. No one at the time says I'm going to do that. The Comey hearing, I should have recused myself. But I'm not ever telling anybody there.
Yeah.
that I have to tie with that, or else I don't know if they can keep me on.
These are the most dishonest people. They've got a couple of reporters in that newspaper who are so bad.
So as the gatekeeper for like videos on the New York Times, do you get to like make sure your message is heard?
Yeah.
How'd you meet Comey?
Godfather.
He's your godfather? Really?
My imprint's on every video we do.
Okay, well, is Comey your godfather?
No.
Then why did you say that?
Good story. I target his businesses, like the Trump business, target that.
People say, who are you going after next? There's a lot of other media organizations that need to be exposed. Who here would like us to release undercover videos inside their holy grail, the New York Times? Fake news. When it comes to American journalism, the gold standard, the pinnacle, the holy grail is the New York Times. They say that they're completely objective. They have no political agenda, that they're the paper of record. But maybe that just isn't so. And while people have had their suspicions in this regard, there's never been any proof. We continue our American Provident investigation with a tale that's so bizarre, a tale of deceit, a tale of political bias inside the newsroom at the New York Times. I'd like you to meet Nick Dudek. He's the gatekeeper for the Times' extensive online video content library. When we met Dudek earlier this year, he was full of stories.
What I do specifically in the Times now is, like, my core stuff is off-platform strategy programming. So any video that goes on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, I have a hand in that.
Before joining the New York Times, Dudek worked for the presidential campaigns of both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Obama in 2012 I worked with.
Oh, nice.
On the Obama campaign in 2012, and then I worked on the Obama campaign in 2008 doing social media.
Oh, okay.
It's like I have that background, so when Clinton in 2016, they needed someone to do, they needed volunteer strategists to do video, well, they needed someone to help them with the video and how to make it heartfelt.
Just recently out of direct politics, Dudek's talents are now shaping, maybe even distorting, political coverage at the Old Gray Lady.
So as the gatekeeper for like videos on the New York Times, do you get to like make sure that you like can make sure your message is heard?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like my voice is on my imprint's on every video we do.
Cool.
So I like that.
Dudek says his role at the Times comes with editorial responsibility. Yet he admits to having no interest in putting his political biases aside.
And you're going to be helping with the Times, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
I will be objective.
Yeah.
That's why I'm there. I will be objective.
Yeah.
That's why I'm there. Like, after the campaign, I'm like, no, I need to get back in the news and keep doing it because, like, this isn't going to change.
It's been nearly a year since the Clinton campaign ended in disaster. But Dudek's efforts to defeat President Trump seem far from finished. Now, he's at the New York Times.
I target his businesses, his dumb of his son, Donald Jr. and Eric. So they're running Trump, like the Trump business. Target that. Get people to boycott going to these hotels. Boycott. So a lot of the Trump brand is the thing. If you can ruin the Trump brand, and you put pressure on his business, and you start investigating his business, and you start shutting it down, whether hacking or other things, he cares about his business more than he cares about being president.
Right.
He would resign. Or he'd lash out and do something incredibly illegal, which she would have to.
Well, promise me this.
What?
Just make sure that you put that in the front.
Oh, we always say.
The Times Ethical Handbook clearly states, quote, journalists have no place on the playing fields of politics. Staff members are entitled to vote, but they must do nothing that might raise questions about their professional neutrality or that of the Times, unquote.
Like, as a journalist, I'm not able to give any money to any political organization. I'm not able to volunteer for any political organization. I'm not able to work for any nonprofit or charity. Like, there's a lot of guidelines and, like, ethics.
So you've never been involved politically or anything?
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have?
I was a volunteer strategist for the Clinton campaign, and that's why I ended up at Upworthy, because I wasn't even a journalist anymore.
Oh, so wait, how do you kind of square that, though?
So...
Did you have to disclose that to them?
I had to leave my job at Fusion ABC to then take a job at Upworthy where I wasn't deemed a journalist anymore to be able to work for the Clinton campaign.
So Thank you for trying.
Yeah.
So that was before...
It was a gallant effort.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, I saw the threat and I was like, I want to do something. I can't just do what I do because, Trump was a threat. And
Trump is a threat.
Still is a threat.
He's a threat.
So you still think he's a threat, right?
Oh, he's a threat to everything.
Dudek's blatant lack of objectivity is undeniable, but there's more. He also told our undercover journalist a bizarre story about a very personal connection to a very newsworthy person. A story that, if true, is an undeniable conflict of interest for the Timesman.
The one thing that Jim Comey said, and I've met him, he's a great guy, actually.
How'd you meet Comey? Just like working in the campaign?
No. Godfather.
He's your godfather? Really? How does that happen?
My dad and mom and his wife for a really long time.
Aww. Man, so you're connected.
Yeah, that's something even John Michael has no idea about. No one at the time says any idea about.
Oh.
You heard that right. Dudek claims to be the godson of controversial former FBI Director James Comey, the guy President Trump fired in May.
So, anytime we clip something from, whether it's like the Sessions hearing or the Comey hearing, the Comey hearing, I should have recused myself. But I'm not ever telling anybody there.
Yeah.
That I have time with that, or else I don't know if they can keep me on.
Again, from the Times Ethical Handbook, staff members may not write about people to whom they are related by blood or marriage, or with whom they have close personal relationships, or edit material about such people, or make news judgments about them.
Do you still talk to him?
No, we haven't talked in 6 months.
But you said you saw him on Father's Day. Was that 6 months ago?
Or no, June? 3 months. No, it's August. 2 months.
So you saw him in August?
Yeah.
But it's August right now.
No, I saw him in June.
2 months later, James Comey signed a multi-million-dollar book deal. Nick was not pleased.
I'm kind of pissed at him. He's kind of with the book deal. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. You don't like that?
No, I think that's because he can't say anything more. Everything else is classified.
Right.
So it's just a money grab. I'm like, he's a holier than thou, and he gets a book deal just for money. Like him.
Dudek insists that his deception must be kept secret, or his job may be in jeopardy.
When did he decide to put the book out? Did you get to talk to him about that? See, sometimes you need to be like that voice of reason, though.
I can't talk to him.
Why? Oh.
Nick was pointing to the New York Times offices right upstairs. Dudek also told us of a connection to the notorious extremist group Antifa.
Yeah, I used to be an Antifa punk once upon a time.
Did you?
I used to go after Nazi punks, yeah. I have punched neo-Nazis, many of them.
Nice.
Actually, that is from a neo-Nazi's tooth.
Very good.
Yes.
Good job.
Living in Northeast Florida, pretty much southern Georgia. A lot of neo-Nazis and a lot of KKK people.
Yeah.
So, had fun. So
Yeah.
it started, I'm like, I get to hit you. I'm so excited.
Dudek's claims became even more bizarre in our next conversation.
But does Comey know about you doing this stuff?
Cannot confirm or deny. There's a follow-up to that question that I don't want to ask.
Which is?
Did the FBI ask me to do that stuff?
Oh, and what'd you say?
Why do you think I did it?
What'd you do?
I joined that stuff for them. I was an asset.
Really?
Yeah. So it was intelligence gathering, seeing if they were, what their agenda was, whether they're a threat or not.
Are they a threat?
Some, yeah.
What kind of threat?
Domestic terrorism.
We had our doubts about the Comey connection. We sent a journalist to scour church records where we believed Dudek had been baptized. we send undercover journalists to California, New England, Washington, D.C., and to Dudek's aunt's house in North Carolina.
I don't know who they picked for godparent. Probably his mom would have did that, and my brother and his mother are divorced, so not quite sure who. I mean, if you probably told me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, but it's been a long time.
He was the head of the FBI. Is that true?
Now, I don't know, because I know, I don't know. I don't know if that was him or not.
We spoke with Nick's father in Washington, D.C.
Was he in the FBI?
Was who in the FBI?
Nick.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Oh, okay. He told me he was James Comey's godson. Is that...
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. It's just weird because he said that, that you guys were like friends with that family, the Comeys. Yeah.
He's embellishing. I don't know why he would say that.
It just left me uneasy, so I just wanted to,
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, he's not James Comey's godson. I don't even know James Comey.
It appeared Dudek's story was crumbling beneath him. In a phone call, we asked him for the truth.
To be honest, Nick, I asked your dad about Comey and the FBI, and he told me it wasn't true.
Okay.
So, I mean, how much are you lying to me about?
Not much.
Well, what's going on? Why would you lie about that?
Not that?
Yeah. Why would you lie about Comey?
Not sure.
Okay, well, is Comey your godfather?
Comey?
Is James Comey your... He's not?
No.
Well, then why did you say that?
I don't know. Good story.
We don't know the truth. Perhaps someone out there can lock it down one way or the other. But the fact remains that Nick Dudek lies, and he's a gatekeeper at the New York Times. And that fact should be worrisome to the bosses at the paper of record. If the Times can't sniff out people like Nick Dudek, journalists with such questionable integrity and character, who else are they letting spread disinformation in their name? Or is this more systemic? Does the Times lack journalistic integrity altogether? On that point, stay tuned. There are plenty more shoes to drop as our investigation into the New York Times digs deeper. Usually at the end of these videos, I make a request for financial support. Today, I'm going to ask for something slightly different. As you can see, we're working on some of the most powerful, sensitive investigations we have ever done. We've been able to do this because of people on the inside who are cooperating with us. If you're inside a corrupt mainstream media organization, a fake news organization, a Silicon Valley titan, or maybe you're one of those people inside the deep state, we want you to reach out to us. Now, your security is our biggest concern. We will protect you. I will personally go to jail to protect your identity. But if you're an insider, we want you to send us a tip at veritastips@protonmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. For a look behind the scenes at the making of this American Pravda series and Project Veritas, watch the hour-long documentary series Truth, exclusively on One American News Network. Subscribe at oann.com. And never miss out on the real news of the day.
So, that's the latest one. I count the moments waiting for. Hey, BZ, how you doing, my good friend? I count the days till the new Project Veritas videos drop. I'm going to try to see. Last time I talked to Project Veritas to get him to come on the show, they even asked if I wanted James O'Keefe. But I had I can't remember his name. Shit. I had the other gentleman on twice now. So when I contact him again, I'm going to see if I can get James O'Keefe this time around. It might be hard to get him on now. He's getting a little popular, so might be kind of hard for someone of my caliber to get James O'Keefe on, but we'll see. I'll see what I could do. And with that, oh God, is it break time already? Oh my God, is it almost? The show's almost done with. Holy for holies! Whew. See, that's when I think I have a good show. When the show blows by like it did last night, and it has tonight. I think those are when I have good shows. When it's so good that I don't even realize the show's gone by. And with that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and LoneStarNews.com. And we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hello, I'm Tim Hart. I'm the guy BZ hires due to his shameless contract with the SHR Media Network to voice his promos. He'd like me to tell you that the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be found on SHR Media Network, Spreaker, and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American media maggots won't. You'll find that the speech is free, but the drinks are not. There, in the saloon, just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ is sending his personal drones of freedom into the wheelhouses and ossicles of lovers of sovereignty and liberty nationally and globally. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, BZ swears that no rights were harmed in the making of this promo.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
This is Jersey Joe, host of the Reaver of Common Sense, and you're listening to shrmedia.com.
times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Time for coming up in about, 13 minutes. We will have BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by the great, the famous, the infamous BZ himself. Remember, the speech is free, the drinks are overpriced, and you'll have a great co-host, guest, and Dan the Man Butcher. Oh, I can't believe this show's almost done with. I've just... Yeah, I love Project Veritas so far, but you know what? I watch putting a lot of faith in some of these because, you put all that faith in and then, fame gets a little caught up to them. There was someone I knew that I had asked to interview years ago and jumped right on it. Now that they've gotten some fame, and it was always, whenever you want me on the show, just let me know. Just give me a call. It's now that the fame got there, don't have time for a show like mine anymore. So I watch putting all my eggs into that because you don't know what fame's going to do to James O'Keefe. Not saying it will, not saying it won't. It makes me a little cautious. I never thought that person would have done what he did. And, that really pissed me off. Well, they were coming back into this area, and it had been set up months in advance. I was going to catch up with him. I told him my daughter and my wife just wanted to meet him. Just 5 minutes of his time. Just stop by, say, hey, how you doing? Introduce my wife and my kid. My kid thought he was a real hero. And then it was like the night before. Well, I got all these excuses. And it was like 2 days trying to get a hold of him and nothing. Then like, because I said, hey, I know you're going to be flying out the same day or the next night. You got busy. Oh, no, I'll make time. And it was like a year trying to get him to guest on the show, and I kept getting every excuse in the book. And that just pissed me off. Especially when my daughter was all looking forward to it, and it just... my daughter thought he was, what'd she say, Iron Man. And he was a real life Iron Man. It just so I've learned to watch, even with doing the show, with what people say to me when it comes to that, or trusting some of these people, because the fame, it'll change anybody in a heartbeat. Oh, where are we? Sorry about that little tirade. It did. I love Project Veritas, but I will always try to keep things in reality when it comes to that stuff. where are we? Yesterday we talked about Senator Murphy after the bump stock ban. Universal background checks are next. Even though they know it will not stop any of the shootings that have happened, it won't stop them. And you know what? That's the first time I told that story, and I won't give the person's name. I never will, because that's between me and that person. It has no reflection on anything else. So, like I said, I'm very, very, very protective of my daughter. Very protective. You upset my daughter, I get grumbly dad. I'm gonna hate to see when some boy breaks my daughter's heart for the first time. I don't agree with this because I know this one's wrong. Someone posted on Facebook, and they got this little thing. It's law enforcement's views on gun control after Newtown. 86% of police believe innocent casualties would be reduced or completely eliminated in tragedies like Newtown or Rural if legally armed citizens were present. Okay, I could believe that. 91% of police support concealed handgun permits without question and without further restrictions. I don't know about 91%. I would say it's up to here. This one, 100% of Florida sheriffs back the Florida Stand Your Ground law. And how they're getting that is the Florida sheriffs confirmed this position by voting unanimously at the 2013 Florida Sheriffs Association Summer Conference to support the Stand Your Ground law as it is currently written. Oh, how do you feel about that, Dan? Besides feeling old. I don't know if that 100% is the right way to say, because I know at least one sheriff that doesn't back that. He doesn't back gun ownership. He doesn't back concealed carry. It definitely doesn't support open carry, because he said, well, if they have open carry in Florida, if they allow it here, my sheriffs are going to be running around killing people because they see people with guns. They're going to defend themselves. What a fucking idiot this guy was. I hate when some people post this stuff, because both sides do it. They post a lot of false information. And I hate memes. I know I'll post the joke ones a lot, but for serious ones, I really hate them because they do more damage than good. So it's... And so many people, it's fact. It's fact. No, it's a meme. Anybody can create them. I've created them. What the heck is this? So I guess this idiot works for the New York Times. Yeah, deputy managing editor, New York Times, oversees our digital platform. Former Moscow bureau chief, investigative reporter, and coffee fetching news assistant has tweeted out, "Newsrooms beware. Someone claiming to be a college student is trying to interview New York Times journalists. We're concerned that it's a ruse." Colleagues, a number of people in the newsroom have received emails recently from someone claiming to be a student researching a media project and asking for a face-to-face interview. While we haven't nailed down the particulars, we are concerned that this could be a ruse by someone trying to trick unwary Times journalists into unguarded or damaging statements. No doubt you recall the hidden camera ploy used recently on a CNN producer We all know that it's important to remain fair and politically impartial in our public statements. Please keep in mind, in all our conversations with members of the public, even reasonable or lighthearted remarks can sometimes be made to appear inappropriate. We're happy for our journalists to engage with readers, students, and other members of the public, and we don't want to discourage that, but be careful. In these polarized times, make sure you know whom you're talking to and be sure to maintain time standards in any such interaction. So in other words, we know we're in trouble. We got to watch what we're saying. But James O'Keefe tweeted out, "Too late, more videos coming." Oh, dumbasses, when will they learn? Background checks, even for private sale, are not going to stop the issues. None of these mass shootings came about from private sales. And what I don't understand, there's the private sales, but then all of a sudden, they're bought through either illegally private sales or through the proper chain of going through a store and getting background checked. And they make the jump that these background checks will stop these shootings. What? How do you make that jump? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. I think it's a bullshit. I mean, if you're going to come up with something to try to, step your way into a gun ban, at least make it a little plausible, a little reasonable. But they can't do that. I mean, their jump from, if you're on the no-fly, you shouldn't be able to buy a gun. Yeah, it should be reported as it is now when you do the background check. If you're on the no-fly list, beep, no gun to buy. But the problem is you're convicting people of a crime without a crime being committed or a trial. And that jumps our whole judicial system. And with freedoms, well, people are going to take advantage of it. You can never stop that, or you give up our freedoms. All right, everybody. It's been fun. Coming up next is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ. Speech is free. The drinks aren't. Pull up a chair. Enjoy the conversation. Special guest, Dan the Man Butcher. See everybody tomorrow. Good night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.